cooking class, take 1. And here's some of the products she's going to need. Vegetable bouillon, she's a vegetarian. I like better than bouillon. Soybean paste, miso, horny. GMO free. Okay, Bragg's, because it's important that everyone just has a bottle of this. Grapeseed oil. Olive oil is better if you're not using a high heat or you're making salad dressing, but grapeseed oil is better for frying. Okay, curry paste, coconut milk. Why get it fat-free? There's no reason to get it fat-free. It's coconut, it's all fat. It's good for you. But here's the light, just in case, but I don't use it, so I'm putting it over here. And here's sea salt, real. Either you get Kauai salt, taken right off of the rocks, or Big Island salt, or you get Dead Sea salt. Annie Chun's udon noodles. This is a cheater way when you're making a stew. Cheat. This is a great thing to add at the end, and it makes everything yummy. Cumin, coriander. It's always good to have a little bit of spices, so curries too. You do always want chilies. Chilies are easy to grow, and these are Thai chilies? I don't know what kind these are. If you pick chilies, don't use your fingers because they'll be on your fingers, and Murphy's Law states that you will rub your eye right after. This is the Bounty. This is because a lot of the tomatoes are from the garden, but otherwise we grabbed some stuff at the store. It's really cheap because you really only need a little bit of everything. It is. 1 eggplant, organical. 1 sweet potato, even though they called this a yellow yam, but use sweet potato, it's better for your blood sugar. I got a parsnip because I think it's so funny, and I think Bugs Bunny would approve. And then there's butternut squash if we need it. We might. There's some squashes that were just lying around the house because everyone has squashes lying around the house. This is a weird squash. I don't know what it is. Zucchini. And that's all. And even the most retarded person can cut a zucchini. This is Kerin style. Even Rachel Ray would probably be scared. Oh boy. Oh my god. What is that nub? What is that nub?
Working, okay?
You're like on Hell's Kitchen, like 0.0001 second, and he just has a heart attack, and then he dies, and that's the end of it. So,
shut up!
Just try to make the pieces similar size or thickness, only because they'll cook more similar than one hunk of nub and one little scrap. Okay, a trick to eggplant is this is really not digestible, and I don't quite know why people think it's digestible. I certainly can't digest the skin. So here's what we do. This makes it all better. It also prettifies. Look how fast this is.
I have an antique peeler.
Well, it doesn't matter.
You know, it looks really kinky. Sorry.
See, look. I'm artistic. Do not do this in Hell's Kitchen. But
I
anyway.
thought you said to cut them in half.
I don't do that. You do that.
You told me.
No, in half was like this. You do it like that, and then you go in half.
Oh.
Quarters. Remember, this is a lot of food you're making, so even though you have to spend a little bit of time in the kitchen, this stew lasts a whole week. I mean, by the last day, you kind of are going, is it still good?
It actually lasts a year.
I'm going to take a chance because you're really that hungry. The chili peppers they kill every bit of bacteria in it, and every time you heat it, it seems to get hotter and hotter, and it kills it even more. And that one day where you have the stew and you eat the chili pepper because you didn't see it, ended up in your bowl, then it kills you. Oh, God help us.
Do you throw that away or can you clean it?
I throw that away. If I bent down a little faster, I would keep.
Is it true?
That one I'm keeping.
Is the 5-second rule true?
Yeah, but you just add on another 30 seconds.
Oh.
Here's the 5-second rule. Watch carefully. Right back in, and look, where is it? No one knows. Mushroom brush.
Brush. You need one of those?
It's always good to have one. I bought this for my mom online because she said she couldn't find one. It's a little harder than most But it was really cheap, Amazon. And otherwise, your mushrooms get soggy, obviously. If you're poor, if you're really poor, you don't even have paper towels, right?
Shut up!
Just grab what you need at Starbucks, get some sugar in the raw, get some extra napkins, fill up your cupboard. Always good to add rainbow chard. Why? Because there's tons of vitamins in chard and kale. Listen, if you really honestly don't like to cook because of knives, I go like this, like this. If that's the thing that's keeping you from cooking, that's fine. Who cares? It's just cheap at the farmer's market typically. It's organic, of course. Stem is actually the yummiest part, even though it looks like you should throw that into the compost. Here, you cut the parsnip. Look at this nice little angle. How fancy that is. See? It's a little angle. That's the fun part when you tell your friend who doesn't know how to cook to cut these up. So it's good to save the seeds from the squash because poor people should put them in the oven and roast them lightly with a little oil and salt, like we do here. If you're lucky, you have pots. Unfortunately, sometimes you have too many pots, and the pot you want is in the back. We were going to use a crock pot, but now we're in rush for time, so we're just going to use a regular pot. Typically, I use the Better Than bouillon, or I sometimes just use a box of chicken broth or vegetable broth. I actually one time made lamb broth with my fat cuttings and baked them, the fat and bones. And then I boiled it.
It's Kerin's cooking lesson. Why are you talking
vegetarian?
about?
Sorry. We don't use measuring cups. We're putting about a half or a third of the pot of water. So cover it up so the water heats up faster. 5, 4, 3, 2. Bouillon for flavor. Videographer.
I prefer documentarian.
Documentarian. Oh wait, that's a little too much. Shazam! Soybean paste. Shazam!
What is that? One knifeful?
Yeah, it's whatever. You're just making flavor, and then you'll kind of taste it. Taste the broth later. Like obviously this is a lot, and now I'm gonna lower the heat because I brought it to a boil. And
Who says Shazam?
Captain America. I don't know. Who said Shazam?
Oh.
They're doing the movie. We'll learn all over again. You make sure though that miso paste is mixed up because sometimes that doesn't. Just gonna grind it on the side. It looks like duty floating in here. I think that's actually the bouillon. But taste it. It always saves a meal. Salt. The parsnip and the potatoes first. They take a little bit longer. They're in. They're ready to go. Just give the root vegetables a 10-minute head start. Go. So now we just added the rest. Everything else is in here. And all the veggies. Now we let it cook. It's not boiling. We lowered the temperature.
Show the temperature.
Temperature.
There.
We can, yeah, that's fine. Zooming. Chili peppers, and you just drop them in. Now the kale goes in on top. Kale is in. It looks like it's too much, but it's all good. When you're kind of bored cooking, you just call your mom into the kitchen and make her do the garlic, because garlic is really boring. And don't let her slam the garlic, because then she gets carpal tunnel. And then you... No, she has this now. What does she have? Ah! What the fuck is it?
The magic cleaver.
This is a cooking video without faces.
Oh, this is a big garlic.
We're showing off our sexy hands. Now we just put a little butter in a saucepan and we put it not too high. Let's take a little bit of grapeseed. I can't see what I'm doing. And pour it in. Oh, it's a little too much. No, it's okay. Hurry, Mom. It's always good to just flipper things around. We want the mushrooms coated in butter because butter makes you live. Well, even if it doesn't make you live a long time, you're happier while you're living however short life you have. The mushrooms are separate. If you like onions and you are not Kerin, you will saute the onions in grapeseed oil first till they are clear. Then you will add
If this is my cooking class, why are you even talking about onions?
Butter, maybe a little garlic, and mushrooms. Mom is supposed to be supplying the garlic. Come on, put it in. Hurry, these mushrooms
That's what
are
he
getting
said.
Soggy. That's what she said. One more Brags. Brags, see, flavoring.
That's salty, so don't add too much.
It's fine. We're making a huge soup. The problem with the other salt is because it doesn't have all the minerals, your body craves more and more salt. We're gonna add some seaweed into this, so we're gonna get a little bit of iodine and
Oh, you need seaweed.
yeah, we want seaweed, and it adds a lot of good stuff. If you don't have salt in the house, don't rinse your seaweed. But if you don't have salt in the house, you probably don't have seaweed in your house either. Here we go, it's starting to come together, yeah?
Yeah.
2 last tricks before we're done. Adding a little bit more of the Brags.
She added more curry paste.
Yeah, and I'm adding coconut, just all of it, the whole container. If you're just making for yourself, even if it's like going to be about 4 servings, you can use a small can.
Oh, it's thick.
Yeah. But look, watch it kind of just blends in. Now we're opening up the noodle pack. Rinsing these off is what Mom is doing. Quickie. The quick version of this soup is you just added some veggies and water first with some miso paste and green curry, and then you added this packing. Doesn't have to be a full-fledged crazy ass soup.
This is the 2-hour soup.
This is the 2-hour version. Where's a little, and then the finale.
There's not enough noodles for everybody.
It's fine. Oh, you want more? We can use.
All right, that's the finished thing.
Point though that we're making with this. Yeah, there is a point. Just try to make the pieces similar size or thickness, only because they'll cook more similar than one hunk of nub and one little scrap.